Okay, thank you all of you for sitting down so early after my asking. Well, anyway, we're going to start with session number 3, which will be talking about virtual factories and manufacturing, mainly on 8 projects and the different outcomes that we want to specify on all of them. So first of all, we'd like to come back to how the evolution in terms of manufacturing has been across Europe during the last centuries. As you see, we started from artisans to hierarchies where mainly big companies were working with small companies on a hierarchical way of working, and then we're merging that into networks where small, big companies are working in network ecosystems, mainly, as we'll talk later, in cyber-physical systems. That means a lot of changes in the way we're working within manufacturing companies, which we would like to talk about, mainly how products have become nowadays services have become products. Outputs have become outcomes as well, how the relationships are becoming one of the key factors when we are doing business with other companies, how suppliers become also clients in other moments of our businesses, as well as partners in future businesses, and how all these elements form part of an ecosystem where we are willing to work in the next future. So within our virtual factories, we have 8 projects from Factories of the Future that will be focusing later on in most of them. 2 of them will not be presented for 2 main reasons. The people are not able to come today. Within all of them, we wanted to go and take the different goals that were highlighted in Factories of the Future in the last course, which were mainly management of supply chain, create value in global networking operations, management of distributed manufacturing assets, etc. We want to focus on what we have achieved in this project so far, although they didn't finish, and how we want to merge in the next future with Horizon 2020. As you all know, the tendency will be to improve innovation and also the collaborative and mobile enterprises. So, main technologies that we have obtained in this 8 different projects are the ones named here, which will be methodologies, infrastructures, technologies, security, business model, product lifecycle, knowledge management. All of them are tackled in different projects in different entities. So, this is a little summary of what these 8 projects achieve in different areas, and what are the different technological contributions that we want to highlight. Going through all of them, we have identified some main technologies that are appearing throughout most of them in different intensities, but that could be named as the main ones in these virtual factories area, which will be collaboration technologies and standards, modeling and service composition, orchestration, so business processes and services, and data interoperation and ontologies. We'll describe the different projects later on, so you'll find out more about these technologies. So as middle in the way, so not appearing in, can you see the orange? No? Okay, here. In the middle way, so they're not in all of them, but still they have a very important presence in the projects. We could name methodologies, SME infrastructure and tools, and product lifecycle knowledge management and platforms. And among the ones that we identify as the future technologies to be tackled probably in Horizon 2020, as those ones that are not being used or gone through in our projects will be mobile technologies, security and trust, and business models and value propositions that we'll see. It's part of many also on the impact. So, impact generation. So, what is the situation of these projects in terms of impact? Once again, we have two impacts that we can name as the main ones. They're very clear, which are business process implementation and new ecosystems conditions for future entrepreneurship. New business process implementation is in most of them, but not highlighted well enough. And once again, I'm very linked to the technologies, namely for in terms of business models, is the new business model definition, which we identify as a lack in most of our projects. So straight away, we'll go through the different projects that I was talking about. This first one talks about European reindustrialization and will be presented by Konstantinos Georgidis from LMS Patras. The project he will be talking about is MAGIC, and he will give us more details about it.
Yes, thank you. I'm going to present to you the MAGIC project through one of the case studies, industrial case studies that we examined in this project. Actually, Imagines introduces and is based on the concept of dynamic manufacturing network, DMN. A dynamic manufacturing network, DMN, is a permanent or temporal condition comprising of production systems with geographically dispersed SMEs and or OEMs that collaborate in a shared value chain to conduct joint manufacturing. In order to exploit this idea, Imagine offers the Imagine platform. This is a web-based platform which we are currently developing that enables manufacturing companies to form dynamic manufacturing networks and cooperate towards mutual objectives. So, after long discussions with our end users, we identified various of their quotes, some significant, let's say, points that they made. And we categorize these points into, for example, these categories in order to see the requirements of our platform. We base the development of our platform and of course also the construction of the architecture of the platform based on this. So we needed a platform that should be interoperable, that could also promote transparency between the DMN partners, that would also facilitate the design of the network and the monitoring of the network, as well as other entities like security and trust. So here is a schema of the basic, of course, the basic, let's say, schema of the architecture. The architecture is much more, let's say, complex, but this is the basic schema of our platform. We wanted to have a platform that would be open, modular, service-oriented, and also easy to maintain or extend. So we came up to this architecture. At least this is its basic form. Additionally, the Imagine platform should be able to integrate the DMN partners in a seamless way, and so we also need these adapters, which also through the DMN service path that is mentioned there, and the profile of the DMN partners can be stored in the expected repository. So after this preparatory phase, let's say, has finished, now we can go on and see the specific case study. We have selected to present today the furniture manufacturing industry living lab, which we have in our project. This was focused on the furniture manufacturing process and includes the entire value chain for new business opportunities. Now, in more details, in our case, manufacturer of chairs has received a customer request about the production of several seats, like the one that we have there, but a bit customized by having some specific figure on the back and some also different design on the seat. So on the upper part, we can see the current issue. In this case, the responsible person should be advised by also some of his colleagues in order to find the specific parts that are needed. He may also consult even press and magazines in order to find the specific parts that they are needed. Of course, many calls and more are required in order to find the specific parts. So, with Imagine, we try to tackle this problem by eliminating this process. So all this can be replaced by what we are going to provide with our platform. Imagine enables the configuration, design, and execution and management of DMNs. A DMN, in our specific case here, is designed in order to execute a workflow of different process tasks that will end up in producing the customer order of these chairs, for these chairs. So this is the process task that need to be performed. So for each of these process tasks, we need to find some potential suppliers that our DMN partners in order to provide us with the part or with the work that has to be done in order to produce this specific chair. We provide two layers of search. First of all, we have the long listing, where we filter, let's say, some of the suppliers first, and then we have the short listing, where also we filter and we go to much lesser choices. And then we have the final selection, for which I'm going to also talk a bit later. The two layers of search have been requested in order to be able to have different criteria and use two different layers, and also there is the idea of having a kind of different transparency from the one search level to the other. However, even if we, let's say, reduce the potential DMN partners to 2, 3, or 4 for each process task, we can still see that the situation is really complex. There are many combinations, and it's really difficult for the DMN manager or for the responsible for the order to select which supplier should be a member of the DMN. Imagine comes here in order to propose the most appropriate suppliers in order to minimize cost, for example, or in another case, Imagine can help in selecting the suppliers that would minimize the time for producing the specific product that we want. Next, we are going to the DMN design phase, where after we have selected the specific DMN partners that we want, then we need to provide to them all the details for producing the specific product. For example, process details, CX files, KPIs, quality certification that we may need, thresholds, and so on for quality, and so on. So Imagine can then record these details, and these details can afterwards, in the next step, be provided to each of the specific suppliers or DMN partners later for each task. At the last phase, the third phase, we have the DMN being executed. We can see that the various parts can, let's say, are being produced, and also we have this dashboard with which we can monitor the whole process, so that we can see if there are any delays, and perhaps we need to accelerate somewhat the process, or perhaps we may need to substitute a DMN partner. For this case, IDEMA, our partner in Imagine, will involve some companies of the furniture sector for demonstration purposes. These are the companies on the right side. And also we provide the flexibility to have the generic matching platform customized for the needs of our end users, our living labs that we have in the project. So, for example, in this case, the generic matching platform can be customized on the needs of IDEMA in order to address better the requirements of the furniture sector. So, thank you for your attention. And in case of any questions, you can